The night buzzed with energy in San Francisco's most luxurious hotel, its chandeliers casting a golden glow over the crowded ballroom. Lauren Bennett, Stellar Tech star marketing manager, swayed slightly, her head spinning from one too many cocktails. She wasn't supposed to drink tonight, not with the company's biggest deal on the line, but her co-worker Rachel Morgan had insisted, handing her glass after glass with a sly smile. Now Lauren stumbled through the hotel's plush corridors, her high heels clicking unevenly. She needed to find her room, collapse into bed, and forget this blurry evening. Lauren fumbled with her keycard, squinting at the door numbers. Room 1408. That was hers, right? She swiped the card, the lock clicked, and she pushed the door open. The room was dimly lit, a single lamp casting shadows over a neatly made bed. A man stood by the window, his silhouette sharp against the city skyline. He turned, his dark eyes narrowing in surprise. James Carter, though Lauren knew him only as Evan, a supposed assistant, stared at the intruder in his room. His tailored suit hugged his frame, and a faint smirk played on his lips. Who was this woman? And why was she here? Lauren froze, her cheeks flushing as she realized her mistake. "Oh no, wrong room," she stammered, her words slurring slightly. "Look, I'm so sorry. I thought this was my room. Here, take this and forget this ever happened." She dug into her purse, pulling out a crumpled $100 bill and thrusting it toward him. James raised an eyebrow, amused. "Money? For what?" He stepped closer, his voice low and teasing. "Do you think I'm some hotel staff you can bribe?" Lauren blinked, confused. "Aren't you? I mean, no offense, but I messed up, and I just want to make this right." James couldn't help but chuckle, charmed by her flustered honesty. Most people would run, but here she was, trying to pay him off. He was Nexus Innovations' CEO, hiding as Evan to scout Stellar Tech without the spotlight. This woman, unaware of his power, was a breath of fresh air. "Relax," he said. "Keep your money. Just tell me your name." Lauren shook her head, backing toward the door. "Nope, no names, no trouble. I'm out." She stumbled, nearly tripping, and James caught her arm, steadying her. For a moment their eyes locked, a spark igniting in the air. Lauren pulled away, muttering apologies, and fled down the hall, her heart racing. James watched her go, a smile tugging at his lips. Whoever she was, he'd find her again. The next morning, Lauren sat in Stellar Tech's sleek conference room, nursing a headache. Her team was pitching to Nexus Innovations, their biggest client. The door opened and in walked Evan, confident and commanding attention. Lauren's jaw dropped. The guy from last night? Why was an assistant leading the meeting? Little did she know this one mistake would unravel secrets, spark rivalries, and change her life forever. Who was Evan, and what was his game? Stay tuned to find out. Lauren Bennett sat at the polished conference table in Stellar Tech's San Francisco headquarters, her head still throbbing from last night's fiasco. The sleek office buzzed with anticipation as her team prepared to pitch to Nexus Innovations, their biggest client yet. Lauren smoothed her blazer, determined to nail this deal. She was 30, a marketing prodigy who'd climbed the ranks with grit and talent. But the memory of stumbling into that hotel room, bribing a stranger named Evan, gnawed at her. What a disaster. She pushed the thought aside. Focus, Lauren. This pitch could make her career. The glass doors swung open and Lauren's heart skipped a beat. There he was, Evan, the guy from last night, striding in with a confidence that didn't match his supposed assistant status. His dark hair was neatly styled, his suit crisp, and his eyes locked onto hers for a fleeting moment. Lauren's stomach churned. Why was he here? She leaned toward her colleague, whispering, "Is that guy really Nexus's assistant?" Her colleague shrugged. "Looks like he's running the show." Lauren's mind raced. An assistant with that kind of authority? Something was off. James Carter, posing as Evan, took a seat at the head of the table, his true identity as Nexus Innovations CEO hidden from everyone. He'd chosen the disguise to observe Stellar Tech without the usual fanfare, but meeting Lauren last night had thrown him off balance. Her boldness, her unfiltered honesty, had sparked something in him. Now, watching her command the room with her sharp pitch, he was even more intrigued. Lauren's presentation was flawless. detailing a marketing strategy that could skyrocket Nexus's new product. James nodded, impressed. This woman was a force. Rachel Morgan, Lauren's coworker and rival, sat across the table, her smile tight. Rachel was ambitious, always one step behind Lauren's success, and the resentment burned. She'd spent years in Lauren's shadow, watching her snag promotions and praise. When Lauren finished her pitch, Rachel clapped slowly, her voice dripping with sarcasm. "Great job, Lauren, as always. But let's be real, some of us rely on charm more than skill, right?" The room went silent. Lauren's eyes narrowed. "If you've got something to say, Rachel, spit it out." Rachel smirked. "Oh, nothing. Just wondering how you always land the big clients." James sensed the tension and stepped in, his voice calm but firm. "I think Lauren's work speaks for itself. Nexus is ready to sign with her team." The room erupted in murmurs. Lauren blinked, caught off guard by his support. Why was this assistant vouching for her? Rachel's face reddened, her plan to undermine Lauren backfiring. She leaned toward Tyler Hayes, a junior employee with a shady reputation, whispering, "We need to do something about her." Tyler, always eager for a quick buck, nodded. "I'm in. What's the play?" Later that day, Rachel and Tyler hatched a plan in the break room, their voices low. Rachel sipped her coffee, her eyes glinting. "Lauren's too perfect. Let's make her slip." Tyler grinned. "I can mess with her laptop, corrupt her presentation files. She'll look like an amateur at the next meeting." Rachel nodded. "Do it. And spread a rumor on Twitter. Something juicy, like she's cozying up to clients for deals." Tyler hesitated. "That's risky. If it backfires, we're toast." Rachel's smile was cold. "Don't worry, I'll cover you. Just make it happen." The next morning, Lauren arrived at her desk to find her laptop frozen, her files for the Nexus pitch gone. She cursed under her breath, panic rising. The meeting was in an hour. She called IT, but no one could recover the data in time. Rachel strolled by, feigning concern. "Oh, Lauren, tech issues? Maybe you should have backed up your work." Lauren ignored her, her mind racing for a solution. She'd have to wing the presentation, relying on memory alone. As she headed to the conference room, she bumped into Evan, his expression unreadable. "Rough day?" he asked, a hint of amusement in his voice. Lauren snapped. "You have no idea." The meeting was a disaster. Lauren stumbled through her pitch, missing key data without her slides. Rachel swooped in, presenting her own backup plan, earning nods from the Nexus team. Lauren's cheeks burned with humiliation. After the meeting, James lingered, catching her in the hallway. "You okay?" he asked, his tone softer than before. Lauren forced a smile. "I'm fine, just a bad day." James studied her, sensing foul play. "If you need help, I'm here," he said. Lauren raised an eyebrow. "Why do you care, Evan? You're just an assistant." He smirked, not correcting her. "Let's just say I hate seeing talent go to waste." That evening, Rachel's Twitter rumor hit the internet. An anonymous account posted, "Stellar Tech's top manager trades favors for deals. Workplace secrets." The post spread like wildfire, with colleagues whispering in the office. Lauren saw the tweet on her phone, her stomach dropping. This wasn't just a prank, it was sabotage. She confronted Rachel in the break room, her voice low. "I know you're behind this, Rachel. Back off, or you'll regret it." Rachel laughed. "Prove it, Lauren, you're slipping and everyone sees it." Meanwhile, James overheard the office gossip and pieced things together. Rachel was targeting Lauren, and he wasn't about to let it slide. He called Tyler into his temporary office, his tone icy. "I know you tampered with Lauren's laptop. Fix it, or I'll make sure you're fired." Tyler paled, realizing he'd underestimated this idea. "I didn't mean any harm," he stammered. "It was Rachel's idea." James leaned forward. "Then you'd better pick a side, Tyler. Help Lauren, or you're done." The next day, Lauren was summoned to a private meeting with James and the Stellar Tech board. She braced for bad news, but James surprised her. "We're moving forward with your original pitch," he said. "Your vision is what Nexus wants." Lauren stared, confused. "But my presentation failed." James smiled. "I saw enough to know you're the real deal. Rachel's face fell, her plan unraveling. Why was he so invested in her success? As the week progressed, Rachel upped the ante. She convinced Tyler to lock Lauren and James in a secure meeting room during a late-night strategy session, claiming it would teach Lauren a lesson. Tyler, reluctant but cornered, flipped the lock, trapping them inside. The room was soundproof, the lights dim, and the air grew tense. Lauren pounded on the door, frustrated. "Great, now I'm stuck with you," James chuckled, unfazed. "Could be worse. At least we've got coffee." Lauren rolled her eyes but couldn't hide a smile. For the first time, she noticed his warmth, his calm under pressure. As hours passed, they talked, the barriers between them softening. Lauren opened up about her career, her fear of failure. James listened, sharing just enough to keep his CEO identity hidden. "I get it," he said. "People like us were always proving ourselves." Lauren met his gaze, a spark igniting. For a moment, she forgot they were trapped. But then she remembered the rumors, the sabotage, and a new worry. Hannah Brooks, James's supposed girlfriend. She'd heard whispers that Hannah was Nexus's pick for James. A match made for business. Was Evan playing her? The next morning, a janitor unlocked the door, freeing them. Lauren stormed out, her mind a mess. James called after her, but she didn't turn back. She was done with games. Yet as she walked away, her heart betrayed her, replaying his words, his smile. At the office, Rachel smirked, thinking she'd won, but Tyler, shaken by James's warning, slipped Lauren a USB drive. "Your files," he muttered. Lauren nodded, a plan forming. Rachel's days were numbered, but so were her own secrets. Something bigger was coming, something that would shake her world. What was it? Lauren Bennett sat at her desk in Stellar Tech's bustling San Francisco office, her fingers trembling as she plugged in the USB drive Tyler Hayes had slipped her. The recovered files glowed on her screen, a lifeline to salvage her sabotaged pitch. She exhaled, relief mixing with fury. Rachel Morgan had crossed a line, tampering with her work and spreading vile rumors online. Lauren wasn't just fighting for her job anymore, this was personal. She saved the files, her mind racing with plans to expose Rachel. But a nagging exhaustion weighed her down. She'd been feeling off for days. Dizzy spells and nausea she chalked up to stress. Maybe it was time to see a doctor. Across the office, James Carter, still posing as Evan, watched Lauren from his temporary desk. His CO title remained a secret, but his feelings for her were harder to hide. Last night in the locked meeting room, her vulnerability had cracked his guarded exterior. She was brilliant, fierce, and unafraid to call him out, a stark contrast to the polished world he navigated. But whispers about Hannah Brooks, his ex-girlfriend pushed by his family for a strategic alliance, complicated things. Lauren had heard the rumors, and her coldness this morning stung. James needed to clear the air, but first, he had to deal with Rachel's schemes. Rachel Morgan leaned against a glass partition, scrolling through Twitter with a smug grin. Her latest anonymous post, hinting at Lauren's unprofessional client dealings, had racked up hundreds of retweets. She'd framed it carefully, vague enough to avoid legal trouble, but damning enough to tarnish Lauren's reputation. Rachel had spent years clawing for recognition, only to be overshadowed by Lauren's effortless success. This time, she'd make sure Lauren fell. She texted Tyler, her reluctant accomplice. "Keep an eye on her. We're not done." Tyler, now wavering after James's threat, hesitated before replying. "Got it." But his loyalty was shifting. Lauren pushed through her morning, delivering a revised pitch to the Nexus team with her recovered files. The room applauded, and James gave her a subtle nod, his eyes warm with approval. Rachel, seated in the back, fumed. How did she pull that off? After the meeting, Lauren headed to a nearby clinic, her fatigue too persistent to ignore. The doctor's words hit like a thunderbolt. "You're pregnant, Miss Bennett. About 6 weeks along." Lauren's world tilted. Pregnant? Her mind flashed to that blurry night at the hotel, the one moment with James she barely remembered. It had to be him. But how? And why now, when her career was on the line? Back at Stellar Tech, Rachel seized her chance. She'd overheard Lauren's phone call with the clinic, catching the word pregnant. By lunch, a new Twitter storm erupted, this time from a burner account. Stellar Tech's golden girl pregnant? Guess who's the father? Office scandal. The post tagged Lauren's professional profile, sending shockwaves through the office. Colleagues whispered, casting sideways glances. Lauren returned to find her inbox flooded with notifications, her phone buzzing with the viral post. She felt exposed, violated. Rachel approached, her voice dripping with false concern. "Rough day, Lauren? Maybe you should take a break, for the baby's sake." Lauren's fists clenched. "You did this, didn't you?" Rachel shrugged. "The truth always comes out." James caught wind of the chaos and found Lauren in a quiet corner, her face pale. He didn't ask about the rumors, just handed her a coffee. "You look like you need this," he said gently. Lauren pushed it away, her voice sharp. "Why are you always around, Evan? What's your deal?" James hesitated, torn between revealing his identity and keeping his cover. "I just want to help," he said. Lauren scoffed. "Help? Or are you just cozying up to Hannah Brooks's future rival?" The mention of Hannah stung. James shook his head. "Hannah's my past, not my future. You don't know the whole story." Lauren walked away, her heart a tangle of anger and something softer she refused to name. That afternoon, Rachel escalated her attack. She slipped forged emails to the Stellar Tech board, accusing Lauren of funneling client funds for personal gain. The board called an emergency meeting, suspending Lauren pending an investigation. Lauren stood before them, her voice steady despite the betrayal. "I've given everything to this company. These accusations are lies, and I'll prove it." But doubt lingered in the board's eyes, and Rachel's smug smile burned into her. Alone in her office, Lauren fought tears. The pregnancy, the rumors, the suspension. It was too much. She didn't want this baby, not now, not with her world crumbling. James, furious at the board's decision, confronted Tyler in the parking lot. "I know you're working with Rachel," he said, his voice low. "Fix this, or I'll make sure you never work in tech again." Tyler, now fully regretting his role, spilled everything. Rachel faked the emails. She's got a whole folder of dirt on Lauren. James's jaw tightened. "Get me that folder." Tyler nodded, seeing a chance to redeem himself. He met Lauren that evening, handing her a flash drive. "This is Rachel's evidence," he said. "Use it." Lauren studied him, wary. "Why help me now?" Tyler shrugged, a faint grin breaking through. "Let's just say I'm not as bad as you think." Lauren spent the night combing through the drive, uncovering Rachel's forged emails and chat logs plotting her downfall. The evidence was damning, but the pregnancy weighed heavier. She called her best friend, confessing her fears. "I can't do this," she said. "A baby? With him? I barely know Evan, and he's tied to Hannah." Her friend urged her to reconsider. "You're stronger than this, Lauren, and that guy, he's crazy about you." Lauren hung up, torn. The idea of motherhood scared her, but so did losing something she hadn't realized she wanted. Meanwhile, James faced his own storm. His father, Charles Carter, Nexus's chairman, called from New York, livid about tabloid rumors linking James to Lauren. "You're a CEO, not a gossip headline," Charles barked. "And what's this about Hannah? You're throwing away a partnership for some fling?" James stood his ground. "Hannah's not my future dad. Lauren is. And I'm not Evan. I'm James Carter. I've been undercover to scout Stellar Tech, and Lauren's the best they've got." Charles paused, intrigued. Then, "Prove it. Fix this mess. Or I'm pulling Nexus's deal." The next day, Lauren presented her evidence to the board, exposing Rachel's lies. The room fell silent as she displayed the forged emails, her voice unwavering. "Rachel Morgan framed me to steal my position. I have proof." Rachel stammered, her confidence crumbling. "That's not true. She's twisting it." But the board wasn't buying it. They reinstated Lauren, scheduling a full audit of Rachel's actions. Lauren left the meeting, adrenaline pumping, but the pregnancy news still loomed. She hadn't told James, and the thought of facing him terrified her. James found her in the office lounge, his expression serious. "We need to talk, Lauren. About the rumors, the baby, everything." Lauren froze, her heart pounding. How did he know? She braced herself, expecting judgment, but James's next words caught her off guard. "I don't care what people say. I care about you. If that baby's yours, it's part of you, and I'm not going anywhere." Lauren's eyes welled up, her defenses cracking. For the first time she saw him, not Evan the assistant, but James, a man who might just be worth trusting. But Rachel wasn't done, and a bigger storm was brewing. Lauren Bennett stood in the Stellar Tech conference room, her heart pounding as the board reviewed her evidence against Rachel Morgan. The air was thick with tension, the hum of the projector the only sound. She'd spent the night piecing together Rachel's lies, from forged emails to incriminating chat logs, all laid bare on the screen. Lauren's suspension had shaken her, but the pregnancy news weighed heavier. She hadn't told James Carter, still known to her as Evan, about the baby. His words in the lounge, "I'm not going anywhere," echoed in her mind, but doubt lingered. Could she trust him? Or was he just another corporate player? Across town, James sat in his temporary office, his phone buzzing with messages from his father, Charles Carter, Nexus Innovations chairman. The tabloids were relentless, spinning rumors about James's involvement with Lauren and questioning his leadership. Charles's latest text was blunt: "Fix this, or Nexus pulls out of Stellar Tech." James rubbed his temples, frustration mounting. He'd hidden his CEO identity to scout Stellar Tech without bias, but Lauren had changed everything. Her fire, her resilience, had drawn him in, and now her pregnancy, rumored across Twitter, complicated it all. He needed to tell her the truth, but first, he had to protect her from Rachel's schemes. Back at Stellar Tech, the board's chairwoman cleared her throat, her expression stern. "Ms. Morgan, these documents show you fabricated evidence to frame Ms. Bennett for financial misconduct. Explain yourself." Rachel's face paled, her usual smugness gone. She stammered, "Those chats are taken out of context. Lauren's the one you should question. She's pregnant, distracting the team." Lauren's jaw tightened, but she stayed composed. "My personal life is irrelevant," she said. Rachel's actions endangered this company. The board exchanged glances, unconvinced by Rachel's defense. "Effective immediately," the chairwoman said. "Rachel Morgan is terminated. Security will escort you out." Rachel's eyes flashed with desperation. "You can't do this," she snapped. "I've given years to Stellar Tech. Lauren's the problem, always playing the victim." The chairwoman raised a hand. "Enough. Your actions speak for themselves." As security led Rachel away, she shot Lauren a venomous glare. "This isn't over," she hissed. Lauren met her gaze, unflinching. "It's over for you, Rachel." The room emptied, leaving Lauren alone, adrenaline fading into exhaustion. She'd won, but the victory felt hollow with the baby's future looming. James found her in the office lounge, clutching a water bottle, her face drawn. He hesitated, then sat beside her. "You did it," he said softly. "Rachel's gone." Lauren nodded, her voice flat. "Yeah, but at what cost? Everyone's talking about me, the baby, everything." James's chest tightened. He wanted to tell her he was James Carter, not Evan, but her vulnerability stopped him. Instead, he said, "You're stronger than they know. Don't let the noise drown that out." Lauren looked at him, her eyes searching. "Why do you keep helping me, Evan? What's in it for you?" James swallowed, the truth on his tongue, but he only said, "You're worth it." The next day, Stellar Tech's board called Lauren back, reinstating her as marketing manager, with an apology. "We misjudged you, Miss Bennett," the chairwoman said. "Your work is vital to us." Lauren accepted, but her mind was elsewhere. She needed to confront the pregnancy, and that meant facing James. She found him in the break room, his usual confidence tinged with nervousness. Before she could speak, he took her hand, his voice low. "Lauren, I need to tell you something. I'm not Evan. I'm James Carter, CEO of Nexus Innovations. I went undercover to scout Stellar Tech, but meeting you changed everything." Lauren pulled her hand back, shock turning to anger. "You lied to me? This whole time you were playing me?" James shook his head, desperate. "No, it wasn't like that. I hid my identity to avoid politics, but my feelings for you are real." Lauren's eyes burned. "Feelings? You let me think you were just an assistant while I spilled my guts in that locked room. And what about Hannah Brooks? Are you stringing her along too?" James stepped closer, his voice earnest. "Hannah's my ex. My family pushed her for a merger, but I ended it. I want you, Lauren, and I'll prove it." Before Lauren could respond, Tyler Hayes burst in, his face flushed. "Lauren, you need to see this." He handed her his phone, open to a news article. "Nexus chairman Charles Carter arrives in San Francisco to address son's scandal." Lauren's stomach dropped. James's father was here and the press was circling. She turned to James, her voice cold. "Your family's coming to clean up your mess, huh? Good luck with that." She walked away, leaving James reeling. He'd lost her trust, and time was running out to fix it. Charles Carter arrived at Stellar Tech that afternoon, his presence commanding the room. Tall and silver-haired, he exuded authority, his sharp eyes scanning the executives. James stood beside him, tension radiating. Charles addressed the board, his tone clipped. "Nexus values integrity. Recent events, including rumors about my son and Ms. Bennett, have raised concerns. I'm here to set things straight." Lauren, summoned to the meeting, braced herself. Was this where Nexus pulled their deal, ending her career? To her surprise, Charles turned to her, his expression softening. "Miss Bennett, I've reviewed your work. You're exceptional. The rumors are baseless and Nexus stands by you." Lauren blinked, caught off guard. "Thank you, sir," she said, her voice steady. Charles glanced at James, a hint of approval in his eyes. "My son's judgment is not always terrible." James took a deep breath, seizing the moment. "Dad, Lauren's not just an asset to Stellar Tech. She's carrying my child, and I'm committed to her if she'll have me." The room gasped, and Lauren's heart stopped. He'd just announced her pregnancy to the board, the one secret she'd guarded. She glared at James, her voice low. "You had no right." James met her gaze unflinching. "I'm done hiding, Lauren. I love you, and I want us to face this together." The boardroom fell silent, the weight of his words sinking in. Lauren's anger wavered, replaced by a flicker of hope. Could she believe him? Later, in her office, Lauren sat with Tyler, who'd become an unlikely ally. He fidgeted, his usual bravado gone. "I messed up, helping Rachel," he said, "but I'm on your side now. Stellar Tech's giving me a shot as your assistant, if you're cool with it." Lauren smiled faintly. "You're not the worst, Tyler. Just don't lock me in any more rooms." Tyler grinned, relieved. "Deal. And for what it's worth, that James guy's legit. He's been fighting for you." That evening, James found Lauren on the office rooftop, the San Francisco skyline glittering below. He held a small box, his hands unsteady. "No rings, no pressure," he said, opening it to reveal a simple silver pendant. "Just a promise. I'll be here, for you and the baby, no matter what." Lauren took the pendant, her fingers brushing his. She thought of the chaos, the lies, the fear, and then his unwavering support. "I'm scared," she admitted. "This baby, us, it's a lot." James nodded. "I'm scared too, but we'll figure it out. Together." Lauren slipped the pendant around her neck, her eyes meeting his. "Okay, James Carter," she said, a small smile breaking through. "Let's try this." He pulled her close, their lips meeting in a soft, lingering kiss, the city lights framing them. For the first time, Lauren felt not just hope, but certainty. Rachel was gone, her name cleared, and James was hers, not as Evan, but as the man who'd chosen her. Stellar Tech buzzed below, but up here it was just them, a new beginning unfolding. Months later, Lauren thrived at Stellar Tech, her pregnancy glowing as she led Nexus's campaign. Tyler, now her trusted assistant, joked about her scary boss vibes, earning a playful shove. James, no longer undercover, balanced CEO duties with late-night talks about baby names. Charles, softened by Lauren's strength, sent her a handwritten note. "Welcome to the family." As Lauren and James walked through San Francisco's streets, hand in hand, the future felt bright, their love stronger than any scandal. As the sun dipped below the San Francisco skyline, casting a warm glow over the city, Lauren Bennett and James Carter stood together, their hands intertwined. The chaos of the past months, Rachel Morgan's Sabotage, the Twitter scandals, the pregnancy that shook Lauren's world, all faded into the background. Stellar Tech's glass towers gleamed behind them, a symbol of Lauren's hard-won triumph. She'd faced betrayal, fought for her place, and found love in the most unexpected way. James, no longer hiding as Evan, had proven himself not just a CEO, but a partner who stood by her through every storm. Their story wasn't just about romance. It was about resilience, trust, and the courage to embrace a future they hadn't planned. Lauren's journey began with a single mistake, stumbling into James's hotel room, her cheeks flushed with embarrassment as she tried to bribe her way out. That moment, so small yet so pivotal, set off a chain of events that tested her strength. Rachel's schemes, from corrupted files to forged emails, aimed to break her, but Lauren refused to bend. She faced the board, exposed the lies, and reclaimed her role as Stellar Tech's star. The pregnancy, a shock that could have derailed her, became a turning point. It forced her to confront her fears, not just of motherhood, but of letting someone like James into her heart. His unwavering support, from the locked meeting room to the rooftop promise, showed her that love could be a strength, not a weakness. James, too, had grown. He'd come to San Francisco to scout Stellar Tech, hiding his identity to avoid the weight of his family's name. But Lauren changed him. Her honesty, her fire, made him question the walls he'd built. Coming clean as James Carter, facing his father's disapproval and the tabloid scrutiny, wasn't easy. Yet he did it for her, for the baby, for a chance at something real. Their kiss on the rooftop, with the city lights sparkling below, wasn't just a moment. It was a vow. They'd face the future together, no matter what challenges lay ahead. Tyler Hayes, once Rachel's reluctant pawn, found his own redemption. His choice to help Lauren, to hand over the evidence that sank Rachel, wasn't just about righting a wrong. It was about finding his place, proving he could be more than a guy with a shady past. Now, as Lauren's assistant, he brought laughter to her days, his playful banter a reminder that even in a cutthroat world, loyalty could bloom. Charles Carter, the stern chairman, softened too, his note to Lauren a quiet blessing. The Carter family, once bound by business, opened its heart to a woman who'd earned her place. This story resonates because it's more than a love story. It's about the battles we fight when the odds are stacked against us. Lauren faced whispers, betrayal, and doubt, yet she stood tall. She didn't just win back her job, she won her truth. James didn't just find love, he found purpose. Their journey mirrors the moments we all face, when life throws curveballs, when trust feels risky, when love seems impossible. They remind us that mistakes can lead to miracles, that the people who stand by us in the dark are the ones worth keeping. Think about your own life. Have you ever faced a rival like Rachel, someone who tried to dim your light? Maybe it was a coworker, a friend, or even a doubt in your own mind. Or have you stumbled into a moment, like Lauren's hotel mix-up, that changed everything? Perhaps you've met someone like James, someone who saw you, really saw you, when you felt invisible. Or maybe you've been Tyler, caught in a mistake but searching for a way to make it right. These stories connect us, not because they're grand, but because they're human. They remind us that love, in all its forms, romantic, platonic, or self-love, is worth fighting for. Lauren and James' story shows that trust is a leap, but it's one that can land you in the arms of something beautiful. Lauren learned to let James in, to believe in a future with him and their child. James learned to step out of his father's shadow, to choose love over legacy. Their happy ending isn't perfect. It's real. They'll argue, they'll stumble, but they'll face it together, with Tyler's jokes and Charles's grudging smiles lighting the way. That's what makes their love story timeless, a beacon for anyone who's ever dared to hope. So, what's your story? Have you faced a moment where you had to fight for your truth or found love in an unexpected place? Maybe you've had a rooftop moment, a kiss that felt like a beginning, or a friend like Tyler who showed up when it mattered. Share your experiences in the comments below. Your stories inspire us, just as Lauren and James's journey inspires you. Let's build a community of dreamers, fighters, and lovers right here on this channel. If this tale of love and triumph touched your heart, give it a thumbs up. It tells us you want more stories like this, more moments that make you laugh, cry, and believe in second chances. Subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a new story. We've got a playlist packed with romance, drama, and happy endings waiting for you, linked in the description. Check it out. And let's keep the love alive. Lauren and James found their forever in the chaos of San Francisco. Who knows where your story will take you next?